Wow, multimedia. Who would ever think that a church would even have to consider the use of multimedia? You know, we have people, they come, they sit in the pew, you share with them the liturgy, you go ahead and have the opportunity to share with them the word of the Lord. You get to open up the Bible, you get to share, you get to tell, and you get to then send them back home. So why multimedia? You know, I was one of those pastors that grew up and kind of taught that could become distracting. Multimedia can take it away and lose the focus, and people won't even remember what the main objective and the main importance is of what the message really was. They'll remember the multimedia thing that was used. Huh. I guess that depends on the description and the identification and the use of the best practice of what multimedia is. Multimedia is not to just be a filler, to just kind of fill a gap or what have you, to kind of just say, oh, I don't know what else to do, so I'm going to throw this in there for them to have to take a look at and just kind of buy me some time. And multimedia isn't just to say, here's a cute little story that you can remember. See, those are all the things that I've seen done. But as exploring in multimedia for church use, for a congregation, it's about knowing your target, knowing who you are reaching, not just who you're reaching, but what you're going to reach them with. It's about putting together the best use of that multimedia that's out there to create an engagement for the people. And see, that's the important thing, is to keep the Word of God first, to keep the message of the Scriptures first, but then to use the tools that God has given in a variety of ways that God has entrusted into our care and with our own talents to tie that Word of God. I guess I could look at that multimedia use kind of like when Jesus teaches in parables. At some point, he just taught, here's what it is. But then at some point, with the crowd that he had, he taught with parables. Something that they could relate to, but yet carry the meaning of what he wanted to share. And that's what multimedia really is doing. And that's when you want to describe it. Describing it and using it is the context of what it is, and the environment in that learning context is to take that multimedia, whatever it may be, and there's multiple, and create it in such a way that it tells the message that Jesus wants the people to connect to. Now, the big thing is as pastors, we're not really taught, at least the old guys like me, 21 years of ministry, we've not been taught how to engage with multimedia, how to use it, how it impacts the people, how it can be used in a positive way. And so sometimes we kind of shrug it off and say, that's for the younger guys. That's for somebody else. So where to find it? Well, the internet is a big tool. But I believe for us as pastors, one of the biggest places, or church workers, that maybe haven't explored or used, is to create that PLN, that professional learning network. And not just a network with the guys of our age, but to network with the guys that are younger than us. To specifically network with guys that are using multimedia, whether it be on Sunday morning or Saturday worship. And so where do you find it? The best way of finding it for someone that really doesn't know where to look is go to somebody. Sit down with them and let them teach. Let them share. what they use, maybe just kind of like a tool. It's not where you take exactly what they did, but it's something that you borrow from them. You borrow from how to do it, you borrow from learning, and then you create it and make it fit the congregation where you're at. Because every congregation, every group of people have similarities, but they also are different and have different needs at different times and different places, and they need to be reached in a different way. So that's what you do when things are missing or when you borrow them, is you create and indeed use what is there. But you also can research. You can research and look and find a variety of tools. Maybe you've never used YouTube, but if you go to a YouTube channel and just type up vlog, you're like, what in the world's a vlog? I just learned that. Instead of blogging, it's now video logging, and it's where you sit down just like this and you tell the message, a story, and you keep connecting with people, you show. And then there's also with the YouTube channel, they'll show you exactly how to do it. And maybe you've learned some tools from other people, but then you can go back and use these to help you realize what you can really be doing. Create the original that beat the regulations and standards. I know in a day school setting, they have to be making sure that what they're using meets the standards that are set forth for the educational needs of the children, of the youth. Well, we as pastors, church workers, have to meet the standards that God put us forth, and that is to do the best we can with the talents that God has given to us, to ensure that what we share is God-pleasing, but also for the benefit and the uplifting of our youth, of our congregation, sharing and connecting people to the word of the Lord. Never thought about multimedia in the positive way. Probably because I was kind of scared of trying to figure out how to do it. And the first way to start is seeking God's Spirit to help you with your talent, because you've got a talent. And then open your eyes to the people around you and search. The ask, seek, and knock, God will provide, if you ask, seek, and knock, the assistance with the people around you to be able to create the use of the multimedia, not to replace, but to do exactly what Jesus did with the parable. Tell the story, show the story, tell the message, show the message in a way that can engage your people, God's people, to the message that the Lord has to share. Blessings to you. And I hope that this little description gives all of us the desire to jump out and say, Lord, lead me to search for this talent. Guide me to find a way to use it to your glory and to make a difference in your name. God bless you. This is Mark Haller signing out.